Right then, welcome to event one of the Shooters Open Series final. We've got Tom Davies here versus Eddie Roberts. Tom Davies with a 2-0 head start against Eddie, breaks off first, pots a yellow in the top right hand corner, decides to take reds, taking the red right middle first, but he just misses it and plays into the cluster of reds at the bottom. Eddie, taking yellows now, takes the yellow to the bottom left hand pocket first, leaving himself a shot on the other yellow to the bottom left hand pocket. Just breaks up the cluster, opening up the yellow, leaving himself a shot on the yellow to the right middle pocket. Uses the red well to nudge the yellow towards the right middle pocket, leaves himself on a double on the yellow to the left middle. Plays it really well, leaves himself a shot on the yellow to the top left hand pocket. Slightly misses it. I think he wanted to put a bit of topspin to come the left hand side of the yellow, but just misses it. Tom Davies back to the table now, taking the red to the bottom right of the table first, leaving himself a shot on the yellow to the top left hand pocket. Just tops it through a little bit to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand pocket next. Drops it in, leaving himself a shot on the red to the bottom left hand pocket. Just drops it in to leave himself pretty straight on the red to the right middle pocket. Going to top this through now to leave himself a straighter shot on the red to the top right hand pocket next. Just has to drop this in with a touch of screw back to leave himself a straight shot on the black to the left middle pocket. Plays it well and manages to get the black in, so Tom has a 3-0 lead. Eddie Roberts break, coming to the table 3-0 down, smashes the break open, manages to get one ball in the bottom right hand pocket. Decides to take reds, taking the red to the right middle pocket next, just passing the yellow. Tops it through to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand pocket. Going to try and find a way to break up the cluster of reds at the bottom. Does that on this shot now, just nudging the yellow out of the way to make his problem ball much easier. Tops it through to play on the difficult ball at the bottom of the table. Just screws it back slightly to come back to the right hand side of the table to leave himself a straighter shot in the red to the top right hand pocket. Has to drop this with a bit of pace now to bring the cue ball back to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand pocket. Plays it really well, leaves himself a natural angle to come back down to play the black into the right middle pocket. Just takes his time on the black and he gets it. 3-1. Tom Davies' break now. Smashes the break open. The black is moving. Doesn't manage to actually pot anything off the break. Eddie Roberts coming back to the table. Takes the yellow to the right middle pocket. Nudges Tom's red towards the cushion to make the two reds on the right side of the table a lot more difficult. Takes the yellow to the bottom right hand corner first, nudging the yellow towards the right middle. Plays that ball next. Coming down the table, trying to break up the cluster. He wanted to nudge the red out of the way, but the red has gone over the pocket now, which makes the yellow, the bottom left of the table, more awkward. So he decides to play on that now. Plays it really well. A slightly awkward cue in. It's a tough shot, but he gets it. Leaves himself fairly straight on the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket. Doesn't do nothing special with the cue ball, just takes his medicine, leaves himself a tough pot in the yellow to the top right hand pocket. Plays it really well and holds the cue ball for the black into the same pocket that he's just gone in. 3-2 to Tom. Eddie's break again now. Smashes the break open. Gets a red in the bottom left hand pocket. Not the best of splits, so you got a couple of reds tied up in the middle of the table and the two yellows on the right hand side are quite awkward. Decides to take yellows anyway. Taking the yellow to the bottom left hand pocket first, decides to play the cross double on the yellow to the left middle pocket. Plays it really well, gets the yellow in. The yellow at the top of the table just passes the red, he plays on that next. Just drops it in, using the red to nudge it, but he just misses it. Ties Tom's red up at the top of the table. Tom plays a nice shot to pot the red to the bottom right hand corner, but makes the rest of the table awkward for himself. Just plays a nice little safety shot now to go behind the reds. Could have done with putting the cue ball a little bit tighter behind the reds to make it a bit more difficult for Eddie. So it's an easy snooker escape for Eddie, but Tom Davies comes back to the table. Tom deciding to take the red to the top right hand pocket now. uses the yellow to nudge it in the corner. Slightly awkward layout now for Tom, so he decides to play the plant off the red, and he just misses it. Eddie Roberts got a fairly easy clearance left now. Takes the yellow to the top left-hand pocket with a nice cut, uses the yellow to hold the cue ball to play on the ball to the top left of the table. Could have done with coming down the table more to play the yellow to the middle, but instead he takes on the double. Decides to take the yellow to the left middle pocket with a really thin cut. Does well to hold the cue ball at the bottom of the table to leave himself the double. Decides to try and cut it in anyway. He was way too thin of a cut to get in. Should have probably played the treble into the left middle pocket. Tom Davies comes back to the table with a fairly easy layout on reds. Does well to play onto the awkward ball on the left-hand side cushion first, so he plays that on this shot now. Does well to get between the gap and the two reds to play the red to the bottom left-hand pocket next. Got to put it in with a bit of pace and a bit of topspin to bring the cue ball around for the red to the bottom right-hand pocket. Digging down a little bit to stun the cue ball up the table to leave himself a straight shot in the black to the right middle pocket. So Tom goes 4-2 up. Tom's break now. Smashes the break open. He gets a red in the left middle pocket off the break. All the balls along the right hand side of the table. Bit of an awkward split. Decides to take yellows, taking the yellow to the left middle pocket first. Uses a touch of right hand side to bring the cue ball to the right of the table off the bottom cushion. Takes the yellow to the left middle pocket next. Doesn't quite have enough pace and causes a foul, so Eddie Roberts has a ball in hand. Moves the ball to the left hand side of the yellow. Decides to play into the awkward red to leave the plant on to the right middle pocket. Decides to play it now, just dropping it in and holding the cue ball for the red to the bottom left hand pocket. Just plays a stop shot to leave the red to the right middle pocket next. Nudges the red into the open play. Takes the awkward red on the cushion now to the top right hand pocket with a touch of topspin to leave himself a nice angle on the red to the left middle pocket, so the cue ball can travel down table to leave himself the red to the left middle pocket. Just overhits it slightly, so he's got awkward cue in behind the black now, and he's going to have to come off a cushion and leave himself a shot on the black to the right middle. Slightly overhits it, so he nearly gets snookered behind the yellow. He just leaves himself enough of an angle. Eddie Roberts break, 4-3 down, smashes the break open, doesn't quite pot anything. Tom Davies coming back to the table now decides to take yellows, taking the yellow to the left middle pocket first. Plays with a lot of pace to break up the cluster on the left hand side of the table. Tom's got an awkward yellow at the bottom left hand side of the table, so he tries to nudge it into it now. Plays it really well, pushing it towards the right hand side of the table to make it possible to pot in both bottom pockets. Takes the yellow to the middle pocket next. Plays it well to leave himself a shot in the yellow to the top left hand pocket. Comes off one cushion down towards the last three yellows at the bottom of the table. Has to take the double on now. Gets the angle wrong and he nudges into his other yellow, so Eddie Roberts comes back to the table. Got a delicate shot here on the red to the middle pocket. Leaves himself a shot on the red to the bottom left hand pocket next. Comes off two cushions to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand side of the table. Plays with a bit of pace to nudge the black out to make the black a lot easier, and it holds the cue ball to play on the red to the top right hand pocket. Just tops it through, but doesn't focus on the pot, so he just misses it. Tom come back to the table now, playing the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket. Uses a touch of right hand side, which swings the cue ball back up above the yellow. I think he wanted to play on the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket, but just overhits it. Nevertheless, takes the yellow to the left middle pocket next, leaving himself a shot on the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket. Plays it well to leave himself a shot on the black to the top left-hand pocket to go 5-3 up. And he gets it in. Tom Davies' break now, 5-3 up. Plays the cut break. And he goes in off the break, leaving Eddie Roberts with ball in hand. First shot, Eddie decides to take the red to the bottom right and misses the pot, but he's still got another shot. The three reds on the right hand side of the table are really awkward, so Eddie decides to take yellows. Taking the yellows to the top left hand side of the table first, leaving himself a shot on the yellow to the right middle. Just tops it through to play on the awkward yellow to the bottom right hand pocket. Screws it back a couple of inches to leave himself a shot on the yellow to the bottom left. Tops it through nicely to leave himself a yellow to the left middle pocket. Just drops it in to leave himself a straight shot on the yellow to the bottom right. Drops the yellow to the bottom right then, leaving himself a straight shot on the yellow to the left middle. Tops it through to leave himself an easy shot on the black to the bottom right. Eddie Roberts is 5-3 down. As Eddie Roberts breaks, smashes the break open, and he breaks dry, leaving Tom a nice easy split on the reds. Decides to take the red to the bottom left hand pocket first. Doesn't quite come full contact into the red on the right hand side of the table, which he played. So he makes the two reds on the side awkward. Has to take the double on now, plays it really well. Decides to take the red to the top left hand pocket next. Tops it through to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand pocket. Doesn't quite come far enough, so he's got a tough pot here. Manages to get it, and he holds the cue ball for the red to the right middle pocket next. Uses the bottom cushion to give himself a nice easy shot on the red to the bottom right. Just has to screw it back to leave himself a straight shot on the red to the top left hand side of the table next. Plays it well, comes a little bit too far, but he should be okay. Decides to screw it back a little bit to leave himself an angle on the black to avoid anything going wrong with the yellow nearing the black. Takes his time and he gets the black in to go 6-4 up. Tom Davies to break now, 6-4 up, first to 10. Smashes the break open, very unlucky not to pot any balls. A couple of balls headed towards the pocket, but not quite enough. Eddie Roberts comes to the table, taking yellows to the top left of the table first. Plays the yellow to the left middle pocket next. Plays it really softly to hold for the yellow to the right middle pocket. Completely opens up the table now. Plays a plant to the bottom right next. Slightly overhits it, so he ties up his yellow to the bottom right of the table. Just tops the yellow to the top left hand pocket, leaving himself a cut on the yellow to the right middle pocket next. Plays it really well, nudges the red into the cluster of yellows, and it comes out perfectly for him. Comes slightly straighter on the yellow than he would have wanted, so he has to put a lot of screw back on the cue ball to bring the white up the table. Just about leaves himself enough of an angle to play the double to the top left. We guess the angle all wrong. Tom Davies comes to the table now. No yellows, no traffic. Just a clear table for him to play. Takes the red to the bottom left hand pocket first, leaving himself a shot on the red to the right middle pocket. Screws into the yellow, into the reds, opening the two reds in the middle of the table up. Leave himself a long pot on the red to the bottom right hand pocket. Tops it through and leaves himself a shot on the red to the bottom right hand pocket next. Plays with a touch of left hand side, which throws the pot off a little bit. Eddie Roberts coming back on the table for the shot in the black. Plays the cross double and he just misses it. Tom Davies back to the table now on reds. Just takes the red to the bottom right hand pocket first, leaving himself a shot in the yellow to the left middle pocket. Tops the red into the left middle pocket through to leave himself a shot on the red to the top right hand side of the table next. Plays with a touch of screw back, so he leaves himself a natural angle to come up with the table for the black after playing the yellow to the red to the left middle pocket. Leaves himself an easy shot on the black to the top right hand pocket now. Takes his time and he gets it. 7-4 up to Tom. Eddie's break now. Eddie needs to pull this back here. Smashes the break open. Gets one ball in the bottom left hand pocket. Decides to take yellows, taking the yellow to the left middle pocket first, nudging the yellow towards the bottom of the table. Takes the yellows, the plant onto the bottom left. Comes into the cluster of yellows, but the yellow he played the plant comes into the cluster as well. Decides to take the double to the bottom right hand pocket on. Doesn't quite hit it hard enough. Leaves Tom a shot on the red to the right middle pocket. Plays with a touch of topspin to try and break up the cluster, but he's left it awkward. He decides to smash the two reds up, and he manages to fluke a red into the left middle pocket. Plays on the red to the top left hand pocket next. Use a touch of right hand side to come to the right hand side of the black to leave himself a choice of the two reds into the left middle pocket. Just tops the bottom red to the left middle pocket first, leaving himself a shot on the red to the right middle. The natural angle takes the cue ball above the black to play on the black to the right middle pocket. Just takes his time on the black to cut it in the right middle pocket. To go 8-4 up, and he gets it. Tom Davies to break now. Tom Davies 8-4 up. Smashes the break open, and he breaks dry. So Eddie Roberts comes to the table again. Eddie playing on yellows, taking the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket first. Eddie's got an awkward yellow next to the black. Decides to take the double on, and he just misses it. Tom Davies comes to the table now as reds. Decides to play a safety shot, trying to put the cue ball behind the red at the bottom of the table. Doesn't quite hit it hard enough, so Eddie has a free shot now to play the yellow to the left middle pocket. Drops it in, bringing the cue ball to the top of the table to play on the yellow to the top left hand pocket. Just tops it through to play on one of the yellows to the right middle pocket. Stuns the cue ball and leaves himself really awkward. He's trying to play on the yellow to the right middle pocket, but instead he plays a safety. Plays a really nice safety actually, so Tom has to try and play on the red to the bottom of the table. And he does make contact with it, leaves Eddie slightly awkward. Eddie playing another safety, could have done with pulling the cue ball a little bit closer to Tom's red, so he leaves Tom a free chance now. Tom takes the red to the left middle pocket, playing quite a bit of pace to push the cue ball off the cushion towards the left hand side of the table. Tom taking his awkward ball on next, playing it to the left middle pocket, plays it really well, opens the black up and gets the pot. Takes the red to the bottom right hand pocket next, just screwing it off the cushion behind the yellow to leave himself a shot in the red to the left middle pocket. Tops it through to leave himself the red to the top right hand pocket next. Touch a screw back to hold the cue ball to play on the red to the top left hand pocket. Just tops it off the top cushion with a touch of left hand side to make the shot on the red to the right middle pocket easier. Slightly digging down on the red now to hold the cue ball for the black into the bottom left. Takes his time on the black to the bottom left to go 9-4 up. And he gets it. So Tom Davies 9-4 up. Eddie's break, decides to take the cut break. Smashes them open. And somehow he goes dry. A few balls came to the left middle pocket, but they went into each other, so he didn't quite pot any. Tom Davies takes on yellows, taking the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket first. Nudges the cue ball behind the red, makes it slightly awkward, so he needs to find a way to play on it. Drops the yellow to the left middle pocket and slightly misses the yellow, Awkward. Takes the yellow to the bottom right hand pocket next, coming off the cushion to leave himself a shot on the other yellow to the bottom right hand pocket. Plays on the yellow to the left middle pocket next. Little bit tight. He just drops it in. Leaves himself a shot on the yellow to the right middle pocket. Plays with a touch of topspin to leave himself a shot on the yellow to the top left hand pocket. Plays it really well, leaves himself a nice easy shot on the black to the left middle pocket to win the frame and the match. And he gets it. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. It'll be much appreciated. Thank you.